Hello friends, welcome back. Now we continue with our study of pharmacological actions, and in this video lesson we shall be taking a look at idiosyncratic actions. What exactly are idiosyncratic reactions or IDRs? They are commonly known as the adverse drug reaction. There is no clear definition as to what they are, which is quite surprising, although there is an adverse drug reaction for every drug in the market. Often their course is unpredictable because drugs are developed on the basis of their molecular action on cell walls, and yet they are unpredictable for the symptoms that they are produced. Very often they are life-threatening and they depend on the chemical characteristics. Importantly, it is not just the chemistry of the drug, but it is also the patient susceptibility, for which very little study or data is available. It is still a very complex phenomenon, and the understanding is only superficial. You can refer to this reference, and you'll find this paper in the section where you can search reference documents. At the outset, we must understand that idiosyncratic drug reactions, or IDRs, are quite different from allergic reactions. Allergic reactions occur in a very short span after taking a drug. The IDRs are quite the opposite. There is a delay between the starting of the drug and the onset of symptoms, adverse symptoms, I mean. Also, they are dose independent. The risk often does not increase with the dose. They are independent of the size of the dose. And the maximum incidence happens when the dose is well below the therapeutic range. That's another very interesting point to be kept in mind. And lastly, and unfortunately, it is impossible to predict how the IDRs will take effect. Here are some examples of the delayed manifestations of idiosyncratic drug reactions. A skin rash, the onset of which could be anywhere between 1 to 2 months after the drug has been taken or stopped. Liver injury, once again the onset is anywhere between 1 to 3 months. Hematological adverse reactions, which may set in 1 to 3 months later. Or drug-induced autoimmunity, something like lupus. We could define idiosyncratic drug reactions as an abnormal reactivity to a chemical that is peculiar to a given individual. The important phrase is peculiar to a given individual. When it comes to individual prescription, it is quite different from the general. That is why the attention should be on the person and not just the disease. And we shall be expanding on this theme when we start our serious study of homeopathy later down in this course. The correct response to IDRs would be, I don't know. Simply because they are unpredictable. There is a significant morbidity and mortality associated with that. It can even result in death or worsening of old symptoms or development of new disease symptoms. Another problematic area is that there is no agreement on the precise mechanism. There are many theories that are floating around, but there is no concrete explanation. It's really a situation of I don't know. And there are many exceptions to every hypothesis that is floating around. And they are also thought to be related to a person's immune response. For the sake of example, we shall look at two IDR syndromes. So we shall be considering the syndrome name, the drugs that are involved, and the features. A drug-induced hepatitis can occur with any one of these drugs: antiretrovirals, statins, the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, and tricyclic antidepressants. Any of these could give an idiosyncratic drug reaction of drug-induced hepatitis. The liver function derangements can occur to simple derangements all the way to a fulminant hepatic failure. Yet another example is the drug-induced lupus. And the drugs involved are protocainamide, hydralazine, chloropromazine, and methyl-dopa. And the features of this particular syndrome are pleuritis of the lungs, fever, weight loss, or arthralgias, which can be very painful. By now you must be wondering what is the relevance of explaining all this to you, stuff that you already know from your study of pharmacology. The point I wish to make is that homeopathy uses this particular facet of drugs or medicinal substances to select them as remedies in the form that homeopathy delivers to the patient. Homeopathy undertakes human pathological trials, which we call as provings, which is not a very good translation of the original word which Hahnemann used in German. But those experiments reveal to us how we can use these properties or the idiosyncratic drug reactions to our advantage and use them as medicines. In homeopathic human pathological trials or provings, we undertake the study of the drugs as they affect healthy individuals. We also study poisonings and the toxic effects of so many substances. And that is what turns a poison into a medicine. It's a very interesting study, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it as we progress through the course. That brings us to the end of this particular lesson. Thank you very much for your attention, and we shall meet once again in the next lesson. Thank you and bye-bye.